The only true currency in this bankrupt world is what you share with someone else when you're uncool. Absolutely love that quote. You remember what movie that's from? Early 2000s. There's your hint. See if you can pull it. Well, why am I talking about this quote that talks about uncool? Because I might be uncool. Let me explain. So I was at work a couple weeks ago. And if you guys don't know this, at my job, I'm the boss. So these two people were doing a project, and they asked me, hey, can you come over and look at this and see what you think? So I come over, take a look at it, and after they shared all the information, I said, that's freaking tight. And they just looked at me funny, and they're like, what? I said, tight. It's good. I like it. Like, who says that? The proper term which you're referring to should be, this is lit. I'm like, lit? No, I said, no, I don't talk like that. I said, I only say certain things. And they're like, well, that's not really, I guess it's kind of uncool. And that's how they put it to me. So it got me thinking, how I talk in general and how I talk on these videos. And there's certain words I always say. And if you watch my videos, you'll probably know there's a select several that I do say all the time. Sweet. I love saying that. That's sweet. Nice. Awesome. I say cool all the time. But some other things, like I call everybody boss. Now, I don't say it too much on the videos, but when I meet people, I'll say, what's up, boss? But I do talk like, I dig this, I dig that, like stuck in the 70s. I don't say groovy or anything like far out or any of that hippie stuff, but I do say dig. I call girls that I like chicks. I say, what's up, cool chick? I'll call guys dudes. I'm like, what's up, dude? What's up, man? What's up, boss? These are the things, this is how I talk. But I guess I'm not cool and I can't relate to the young people because I went and said that it looked tight, but yet that word doesn't exist in their vocabulary today. So I went home, and I got a teenage daughter, so I decided to ask her and say, hey, honey, is Dad uncool? And she just looks at me, and I'm like, I ride a motorcycle. I put stuff on YouTube. I seem pretty cool. I'm a good boss. And like, Dad, you're not really cool the way you talk. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, well, you kind of stuck about 20 years ago. And I'm like, so I told her the story about this tight thing, and then she just laughed. She's like, no one says that. And I'm like, well, they said I should say lit. And she's like, nah, that was like 2-3 years ago. That's gone out. I'm like, what's the proper word now so I can go back and act cool to these, two girls, and they'll think I'm like hip. And she just laughed at me. She says, well, some people say hip, but not all the time. And coming from you, it sounds really awkward. And she says, well, some of the proper words are ard. I'm like, ard? She's like, no, it's not like a freaking pirate. She didn't say freaking. But she said, like ard. I'm like, so like hard? She's like, yeah, but it's A-R-R-D. What the hell does that mean? She says, that means all right. So I'm like, okay, so I could go back to these girls, and I'm like, boy, that's hard. And she's like, there you go, saying it's like a pirate again. She's like, no, don't let those words escape your mouth. Just be yourself. And I'm like, but I'm not cool. So I go back thinking, and as I was growing up, and even my wife, I'll get to that story in a second. I'm a pretty friendly guy. I'm easygoing. I love meeting new people. I make friends pretty easy, at least I think I do. But growing up, I was kind of, I don't know a proper word to say it, I was kind of a dork. Actually, my friends nicknamed that. I was very clumsy, and I'd make stupid mistakes. And, stuff like, I was really into sports when I was younger, and if you guys know anything about football, or a couple other sports, before you go out, you wrap your ankles. So you tape them to help them. Oh, hold on, I'm coming up to freaking Bernadette here on the... Oh, sorry, just waving. I didn't mean to honk. Probably scared the crap out of her. I was trying to hit my left turn signal. I ended up hitting the horn instead. Freaked out the horse. She's going to take off and buck her off. Anyway, so when we were getting ready for a game, I'd wrap my ankles, like most normal people do, so you don't twist your ankles during a game. I wrapped the same one twice. Stuff like that. Instead of wrapping two, I wrapped the same one twice. Guy's in my car, and a bottle of soda blows up. Inside my car, I turn on the windshield wipers, stuff like that. So they ended up calling me dork. But, nonetheless, as I grew up, I was pretty clumsy. So I was going back, talking to my wife about this, how, people don't think I'm cool at work because I can't relate to the young people. And they're like, well, you are kind of a dork. You're the only one that falls up the steps. And for those of you who don't know what that means, most people when they get on steps, I've got a pretty big foot, but I'm almost 6'4", so I'm a pretty tall guy. But most people when they walk down steps, they slip. You know, that's normal, right? How many of you guys actually fall up the steps? So like when you get on the treads, your foot actually falls down. So every time I do that in the house, like or when I'm walking, and I use boom, boom, my wife starts cracking up. She's like, "You're an idiot. You're the only one I know that can fall up the steps." So I guess I'm uncool. I'm not cool. So what do you guys think? Am I really uncool? Some of you guys have met me in person, you know. I'm just a laid-back guy. I like to ride. I like to have fun. I speak my own language. I like my own music. It's like having fun, man. I like living my life. I guess I got to learn, though, that I have to learn the new language. You know, it's funny. My friend Pat, you might know him as Orvis182, we were talking about, it was about 6 months ago when we were riding together, how I have to learn how to speak like a younger person. And long story short, I actually had to call him a couple weeks back to get help on Instagram. So I'm definitely not cool. So he had to walk me through a couple things. I'm like, well, can you show me how to do this? And you could hear the pause in his voice when I call him. He's like, you're an idiot. All right, guys, thanks for taking the time to listen today. Get out there and ride. Be well, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. I'm not cool.